All right, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. I'm David Paul. We're here in the KHOU Channel 11 Weather Center. We've got a severe weather threat tomorrow, Wednesday, and because of that, we've issued a weather impact alert. Wanted to step in here and just give you an early heads up and walk you through everything that we're expecting weather-wise on Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be a mess, much like it was Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. If you were caught driving in that weather, the downpours, it was awful. And I think we can expect a repeat of that, perhaps on a little bit bigger scale as far as the amount of coverage that the rain and thunder will bring in. I think it'll be wider than what we had on Saturday. Let me set the stage right now. Really warm and humid out there. You walk outside, it feels like an early summer day. Bush is 85, Tomball's 85, Sugar Land's 84. Super humid out there. That will be energy to feed this chance for thunderstorms tomorrow. Now, before we even get to tomorrow, let me just show you what happens tonight. Good chance for rain and thunder and a level 3 severe weather threat for the Texas Hill Country, Junction, San Angelo to Abilene, west of Dallas, all the way up to Wichita Falls and across the Red River into Oklahoma. 3 out of 5, you can expect to see multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in this part of Texas tonight. Can't rule out an isolated tornado as well. I think severe thunderstorm, straight line wind, heavy rain is one of the bigger threats in this part of Texas. That is tonight. It's just beginning to get going right now. Notice we're not included in that, although we may have a thunderstorm just catch our fringe northwest counties. Here's the radar. Patchy fog on the coast as usual. And there, even now, Bryan's catching rain and a little thunderstorm just north of Bryan. So they're getting a little bit on the map right now. And let's just zoom out. So we've already got a tornado watch. Tornado watch has popped out here from the Big Bend to San Angelo, Hill Country. You know, there's San Antonio, Austin right in here. So west of San Antonio, west of Austin, tornado watch is in effect. They're expecting some pretty bumpy weather there tonight. I would not be surprised at all. Just put that tornado watch on top of us tomorrow afternoon, as what's coming in is an upper level low with a lot of twist and a lot of lift, the things you need to get supercell rotation going, and those are the types that can produce an isolated tornado. Hourly forecast tonight, we will struggle to drop below 75 for a low. All the humidity, the moisture coming off the Gulf, that will help keep it very warm and humid and sticky overnight Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, by the numbers, 7 a.m., I think we start with a 30% chance for a scattered shower, 40% chance for scattered showers by noon, then we ramp it to 70% going into the afternoon and early evening, right when everybody's trying to get stuff done. Big picture, that's our storm system right there. Here's where it's sitting right now. Northern Mexico, southwest United States. Look at the snow across the northern plains. Another shot of bitter cold air is coming out of Canada. We're going to get chilly next week. More on that in a minute. But this is the system that brings the rain and severe threat right there. What we just looked at from the Big Bend, San Angelo, Hill Country, all the way up to west of Dallas tonight. That's 11:30 tonight. While we're quiet, they're stormy, and then, here we go. And then the big picture, there's the upper level low, rumbling storms into Houston tomorrow. And I stopped this at 2:30 for a reason. I think that's when things really begin to get widespread rain and thundery and stormy mid-afternoon into the drive home, and maybe even to 8, 9 o'clock. I think we'll get a good chance for rain, thunderstorms. And with that low, such a vigorous low, really tight trough, that's going to put some twist in the atmosphere. In general, here's the timeline. Broad brush, Wednesday storms, weather impact alert's going to be in effect tomorrow. Just turn on notifications so something tornadic pops up where you are, you'll know. 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. I think the severe threat may end a little earlier than that, but 1 to 9 p.m., good chance for thunderstorms, strong ones. Wind damage and an isolated tornado, those are the greatest threats because that can cause a power outage and, of course, put you in danger from damaging winds, but also brief, heavy rain, brief torrential downpours that'll pond up the roadways. I think hail is also a pretty good threat as well. So, indeed, stay close to the forecast is the best thing to do. When we look at rain totals, this is tonight. And then this is tomorrow for Houston and East Texas. And for us, it's a widespread 1/2 inch to 2 inches. I think that's a fair estimate for most of us. A 1/2 inch to 2 inches, no matter where you live across Southeast Texas. Huntsville to Galveston, Freeport to Columbus, Brenham to Liberty. Heavier rain, more likely a little further northeast, but Livingston, you could get 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in some of the heavier downpours. We're not under a flash flood watch. We need the rain. We're in drought, but when it comes down quick like that, it causes that isolated flash flooding. And the severe threat, what the Storm Prediction Center has changed from yesterday is they've backed the level 2 down and closer to Houston. Yesterday, level 2 barely had Livingston in it, and now it includes North Harris County. So we've basically increased the severe threat, looking at the modeling, looking at the upper level dynamics for tomorrow. And this will have all forms of severe threat in play: isolated tornado, hail, straight line wind, and heavy rain. So let's walk through it. So this is the best way to time out the day. Here we are today, pretty quiet. Got a thunderstorm just north of Bryan. I like that the model's picked up on that, so it's initiating really well. I think we've got, at the moment, a good handle on what's going to happen tomorrow. This is tonight, 10:30. Tuesday night, quiet. Breezy and humid. Into Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, scattered showers, maybe an isolated heavier downpour up north, but this is where the action continues to be 7:30 in the morning, I-35 corridor. And at that point, they may have some flash flooding going on out here. We head into 1:30 in the afternoon. So between sunrise and noon, 1:30, we don't get much, but here it comes. And between 1:30 and going into 2, 3, 4, 5, we get a couple of rounds of rain and thunderstorms coming in, sweeping through from west to east. The individual storms will be racing south to north like that, while the whole, just think of this as like spokes on a wheel. Spoke, spoke, spoke. We'll get little spokes of waves of rain coming through with the individual cells racing north and the spokes sweeping on through from west to east. And that will be when we could have our severe threat. We go through to 8, 9 o'clock. And what looks like is going to happen to me is that's the severe threat exiting into Lake Charles. And then this is the upper level low. This is the parent low at the upper. I say upper levels. This one's actually at about 500 millibars, halfway up the atmosphere, but it's got a lot of twist to it, so it will still have a lot of lift. So I expect widespread rain out of this. I don't expect severe out of this, but widespread rain going into 9 o'clock. So it may be that our severe threat ends at 9, but we still get this slug of rain pushing through between 9 and 1 a.m. as it moves east. Elevated lightning and thunder as well. And then that exits and we're done. 5 a.m. Thursday, we're clearing out. North wind, it's going to be cooler. This is Wednesday's wind, gusting out of the south, 25 to 30. Thursday, gusting out of the north, 25 to 30. 38 mile an hour gusts forecast down in Galveston. So everything turns around, and this is going to sweep out all the murkiness, all the cloudiness, all the humidity will be swept out. This is going to be the beginning of several beautiful days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are gorge. And then we get this stronger cold front next week. So this whole pattern, this whole storm system coming through is the beginning of a large-scale weather pattern change that is going to take us out of this warm and humid pattern we've been in and bring us into a much colder weather pattern that we haven't seen for a couple of weeks. And this is the big picture. This is going into next week, warmer than normal out west, and then another slug of cold winter weather for the east half of the country, and that's going to include the Houston area. I love it. We get enough summer. This is what's happening meteorological, weather-wise. We've got this ridge rotating here. It rotates clockwise. Got this big old trough with a low. Winds are rotating counterclockwise around that low. And you can see the result. That is going to pull cold air out of Canada and just shove it down all the way to the Gulf Coast. They're going to get a lot of snow across the Great Lakes out of this. This is Monday, Tuesday of next week. So this is that cold surge coming south. We get a cold front coming in. Again, it's Sunday night, and then Monday, Tuesday are much colder. Lows in the 40s and 30s, highs in the 60s. I don't know if we're going to have a freeze in the northern counties or not. We might Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning of next week. That's possible. But we're getting a glancing blow of a big, bitter cold area of air coming out of Canada. So 7-day looks like this. Thunderstorms tomorrow, the weather impact alert in effect. Thursday's beautiful, 52-72. Friday, 49-78. Gorgeous. Beautiful beach weather, although cool mornings. And then that front comes in Sunday night, and then 40s and 60s for the immediate Houston area Monday and Tuesday. Would not surprise me if Conroe to Huntsville, north of Spring Creek had upper 30s. Would not surprise me if you had upper 30s, even some middle 30s further north for lows. Madisonville, Lufkin, as we went into Monday and Tuesday of next week, as you're going to need your sweaters for a couple of days. That's where we stand. That is a complete look at it. Next live update on TV and on Plus, KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock, all the headlines, and I'll have updated model data on this. We'll see you then for our next live broadcast.